Like, the days just, like, flow, and I don't even realize what day it is.
There you go. I mean, no, Parker. Halloween is next week,
Halloween
not tomorrow.
is not tomorrow. That means we can talk about the Halloween parties I was researching.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because I was like, oh, those already happened.
I've got some I've got some spooky stuff that we could talk about too. All right. Hello and welcome to ThinkBox Radio. I'm your co-host Clay Peterson, and with me, as always, is
Parker Andrus.
And so I'm back. Last week I wasn't here because I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. That was real fun. I'm sure we'll talk about. Well, I guess I'll just talk about my experience with my wisdom teeth right now. So I went and got them out, and it was really weird. So they put me to sleep, but it was like they just knock you out, but you're still conscious, so that you can kind of respond to what they're saying to you and stuff. So I'm sitting there in the chair, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna put this in you, and that's what's gonna put you to sleep." And I'm like, "Okay." And he puts this needle in my arm, and he's like, "All right, you're gonna start feeling something in your head, like you're gonna feel dizzy, and then you're just gonna pass out." And I'm like, "I don't know, I'm not feeling anything." And then the second I said that, it felt like the blood like rushed up to my head, and the whole entire room like pretty much did like a full like circle, like it spun into itself, and then it like made this little black hole. It was weird. And then I wake up, and I'm like super woozy and dizzy, and I'm saying stuff that I don't want to say. So it was weird. Like, it was involuntary because everything I had said, I knew what I was saying, but I kept telling myself to stop talking, and I just couldn't stop talking. And so, yeah, I said some pretty funny stuff. Nothing of note, just typical, like, woozy, your typical wisdom teeth stuff. I started crying over Mountain Dew.
Over Mountain Dew?
Over Mountain Dew. Not once in my life have I cried over Mountain Dew until I got my wisdom teeth
What
pulled
happened?
out.
Like, was your mom like...
So, I was sitting in the car, and we were on the way home, and I'm like, I want Mountain Dew. And my mom was like, okay, well, you got that Mountain Dew at home. And I was like, no, I drank it last night while I was watching Legends of Tomorrow. Why did I do that? And so I just started crying out of nowhere. So yeah, that was really fun. And now, for the most part, the pain is gone. It kind of resurfaces at night. I guess that's because of the blood pressure in your body, like, goes up and down depending on what time of day it is, based on, what you're doing and whatnot. So I guess when things kind of wind down for the night, after I've eaten too, just because that means I've used my jaw more. So I've kind of used those muscles back there and whatnot. I think my stitches are gone though. Like, they have stitches in there that are dissolvable.
Oh yeah.
So those are gone. I'm finishing up the antibiotics because I forgot to take them while I was all weird and whatnot. So I'm catching up on the antibiotics so that I don't get infections. Make sure, if you ever get your wisdom teeth out, people, take the antibiotics, alright? You don't want to get infected, because if you get the infection, you're basically going to go back, and they're going to have to cut you open again. So they have to recut open everything that they just did, let all of the stuff out, and then sew it back up, and then you're back at square one.
Ow.
So, just take the antibiotics, alright? So...
That's crazy. Well, since we're on that topic, do you have a video of...
My mom has one.
Your mom has one? That'd be fun to get on the show sometime. Just the recording. To hear exactly what you said.
There was this part where my mom was kind of finishing up with the doctor, and so she's, getting her contact information and whatnot. I think it was the doctor. I was, like, high at the time. I was high as a kite.
Oh, yeah.
And everything was involuntary. And so she asks for my mom's address and phone number. And so I'm saying it as my mom is saying it. And it was weird because my mom's, like, saying her number. And I always make fun of my mom for how she says her number because she says it the same way every time. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same voice inflection and everything. And so I basically mimicked everything she was doing in that phone conversation, and she kept looking at me like, shut up. But she was on the phone, so she couldn't say shut up, so I'm just sitting there just talking. And then finally the person on the phone, she's like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome.
you're welcome. Have a nice day.
And so yeah, I mean, wisdom teeth, they're real fun. Get them out, folks, while you can. Don't wait too long. Hopefully they're not impacted for you guys. I thought mine were impacted.
What's that mean?
So basically it's where they're growing in from the sides.
Oh.
So instead of going upwards, they're going inwards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it really hurts. My left one was kind of slightly askew. So the left bottom one hurt quite a bit. It's still you can still kind of feel it. And I think we're good on wisdom teeth. I mean, there's not too much to say about wisdom teeth other than get them out.
Get them out.
Get rid of them while you can.
They take your wisdom, Clay.
They take your wisdom.
He's lost all his wisdom.
I am no longer a smart person. Everything I learned in high school is gone.
It's gone.
All right.
They say it stores in your brain all the knowledge, but no, it's all to your wisdom teeth.
I can no longer function as a human being because I lost my wisdom teeth. Let's see. So, in about 25 minutes, we're going to have someone come on the air. It'll be a fun little surprise for you guys. It's going to be our third person on the air at a time for the first time. Parker.
I know. First episode with 3 people.
Episode 5 is the first episode with 3 people. Mark that in your calendars, folks, because it's coming. Anyways, next week is Halloween. Parker.
It is.
Next week. Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. I actually thought tomorrow was Halloween because you see, when you're out of high school, you kind of forget what day it is. It's just another day, right?
Oh man, yeah. Every Monday's Halloween.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Parker, what are you doing for Halloween next week? Next Monday, because this is probably going to go up this Monday. We're recording this Sunday. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to mention that too. So. Normally, we have been posting these on Wednesday on YouTube, but we're actually going to start posting them Monday so that our information is a little more accurate, because we record them Sunday mornings. So then if we get it up either Sunday night or Monday morning, within, kind of that 24-hour gap, everything we're saying is at least somewhat true to when you guys are listening to it. So anyways, Parker, next week is Halloween.
Next week is Halloween. Unfortunately, I have to work on Halloween night. On Halloween night. It's crazy. I tried to get the day shift, but, Halloween night, my other job, my part-time job.
So you're closing?
Yep, I'm closing
until like 9:30, huh?
Yep. 9:30. You remember those good old days?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'll be out of work at like 6:30 on Halloween.
You're gonna be ready. Are you going trick-or-treating this year?
I think I might go with my sister.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I think I might take her, my younger sister, just because we're both gonna be Power Rangers.
I think that's a good thing going on right now.
I figured I'd make this her Halloween.
Yeah.
Cause she's 5, so why not?
Yeah. So for all of you party goers,
all you partying people,
you crazy people,
party people.
So, as you all know, Halloween has Halloween parties, and Halloween parties are pretty much the coolest parties besides besides New Year's.
Is this true?
Yeah, it is.
This is a fact?
This is a fact.
If I Googled it, it'd be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, I'm not sure about that.
Halloween parties are the second best parties you can have.
Second best parties.
According to Parker.
Yeah, that's a Parker fact.
All right, that's a Parker fact.
Okay, so for those party goers, if you're into true partying, you're probably going to go to Get Freaky. It's kind of a rave, which is a little crazy. Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know about raves, like, get a life. Like, just Google rave. It's crazy. But it's basically like a huge DJ party. And Get Freaky is happening October 28th and 29th. And I'm pretty sure it's at the Saltaire this year. And Zed's Dead, and Flex Pavilion, and a whole bunch of other DJs, they're going to be performing at Saltaire.
I used to listen to those people back in the dubstep days.
Yeah, back in the good old dubstep days.
Back when I was just obsessed with dubstep, Flex Pavilion was great.
Oh yeah, like Cracks.
Did you ever see 1,000 Ways to Die?
In the West? Like the country movie? Or the TV show?
The TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this episode where they're at this rave, okay, and someone gets one of the glow sticks that they have. They get one of those injection needles, and so they extract some of the stuff from the glow stick.
Yeah.
They put it into their veins, and then their veins start glowing, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, this is awesome. Everybody start doing this. And then they go out on the dance floor, and they're dancing around and whatnot. Out of nowhere, they just collapse on the ground and die. Because that stuff is toxic.
Yeah, why would you put
So if you're gonna go to get freaky, don't get too freaky and put some freaky stuff in your freaky veins, you freaky people. All right?
only freaky people go to raves, right?
Just don't do that. You'll die. I'm letting you know that you will die. Anyways.
Yeah, so there's Get Freaky there, and then if you go to Salt Lake, there's a whole bunch of primarily adult Halloween parties, so like adult, yeah. If you're not 18, kids, you're not gonna be able to make it in these parties. But
all you kiddos out there,
yeah, freaking kiddos, get up, grow up fast.
Yeah, get up and get freaky.
Yeah, but Area 51, they're having a pretty cool Halloween party. They say they have a $2,000 prize for the best Halloween costume. So if you're gonna go to a Halloween party, you might as well dress up.
And if you want a really good costume, just get a glow stick, take out the stuff from the glow stick, put it into your veins, and then you'll just have like these glowing veins, and everyone will be like, "Whoa, dude, you look so cool! Here's $2,000,
dude."
And
here
as
you
they
go.
hand it to you, you collapse on the stage and die.
Dude, but don't worry,
But
zombies.
you won.
Zombies are out this time of year.
But
so,
you won, and that's all that matters.
Yep. So yeah, there's about that for Halloween parties right now, and yep, that's all I have to say about Halloween parties. Just go to Salt Lake. There's gonna be Halloween parties like every block.
Have you watched any new Halloween movies recently?
Dude, Halloween movies?
Anything like that?
No, I guess the only thing coming close would be Stranger Things. Have you seen that TV show?
Yes, and I didn't like it.
No, why not?
I could talk about how I didn't like it for
Okay.
45 minutes.
Okay. Let's get a little taste from Clay.
So just for what I didn't like about Stranger Things, it was very predictable.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna give too many spoilers. So like even in just the first episode, you're like working towards everything, and then after that first episode, you're like, okay, here's what's gonna happen the rest of the season, and then it happens, and you're like,
exactly
well, that's
how
lame.
you say it. Yeah.
So I guess a lot of kids from the 80s, so adults now, they really like this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of nostalgic for them, so they're seeing like all this 80s stuff, and they're like, whoa, that's awesome, I love
Remember
it.
the good old days?
Yeah.
So,
member berries.
yeah,
going back to episode 2.
Member berries.
Ooh, if you don't know about the member berries, go remember back to episode 2, alright?
Yeah, good old member.
So anyways, they really like it because it's, nostalgic, and they're not really focused on kind of the writing perspective that they chose and kind of the formula that they've chosen for this show. So I just thought it was very formulaic, because I don't know how to put it without spoiling too much. I guess it's been out for quite a while. But for the most part, my predictions from episode 1 were spot on.
Spot on
throughout
the whole season.
The whole 8 episodes.
Yeah, and for those of you who want to watch it, it's only 8 episodes this season.
It's okay. Typical people like this show, and that's fine. All right. It's like a Marvel movie, like except it's a little less than a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't compare it.
They're
to that.
fun, okay, but they have nothing to them.
Yeah, you can pretty much guess exactly what's coming.
I'm sorry for people that like Marvel movies. Okay, I like Marvel movies, but I don't love Marvel movies.
Yeah,
they're just okay.
They're just movies, right?
But I watch them on opening night anyways, hoping that they're really good.
Yeah.
All right, like Civil War.
That movie was kind of garbage.
I had super high expectations.
Yeah.
For it. I come out of the theater and I was mad.
Yeah.
I've never been genuinely mad at a movie before.
But you were mad at that movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
and then you go a couple months before that to Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, yeah.
I came out of the theater with tears. I loved it.
Oh, yeah, and everyone hated it.
And everyone else hated it. So I feel like I'm always out of what people think. But anyways, Stranger Things, I didn't really like it. It was too simple. Maybe it was the 80s stuff. I don't know. I can't quite pin exactly what, like, every little detail that it was. Unless, like I said earlier, I could do a full podcast on everything wrong with Stranger Things. So I mean, like, and it's not just the minor inconsistencies with it. It's like just the overall arc of the plot,
The whole
and everything.
structure of the plot,
right?
yeah.
The whole structure of everything and how everything plays out is just a little formulaic. And formulaic like a Marvel movie, you know. Marvel movies do have a formula. It's, here's your conflict. They're gonna go fight the conflict. There's no consequence for the conflict that they just fought. And that's about it. You know, you leave the theater the same place you were when you were going into the theater, where nothing really happened. And so, I mean, I like my stuff to have more consequence. Like, if, you know, a certain character in Stranger Things did die.
Oh, yeah.
Off screen. But I was hoping that the other character would die. And that other character lived. And I'm like, why does that character get to live, even though, you know, things that happen in the show, that person should have died. Just, you know, as a consequence. I personally would have, if I were, you know, the screenwriters for it, I would have ended it with that. With, like, them being defeated, and then being like, oh, everything we've worked for is just gone.
Like Arrow does. Arrow does a great job of that.
Arrow does a good job of showing consequence. And we'll get into that when we catch up on some TV shows. Anyways, reeling back into Halloween movies and whatnot. So Stranger Things, that's pretty much it for you?
That's pretty much all the scary movies I've seen this year.
Okay, well,
not too big into
we're gonna start at the baseline, alright? So we've scratched the surface with Stranger Things.
Ooh.
We're gonna move up a little bit, alright?
Ooh, I'm ready.
Sticking with the Netflix stuff.
Ooh.
Okay? If you guys are a fan of MTV's Teen Wolf, I was a fan of it. I couldn't watch it anymore just because it went off Netflix and I wasn't caught up with it. So it was a matter of me going back, paying all of this money to finish it, and then catch up with MTV. And I'm already watching, you know, 5 shows a week. So it's already like, what do I do? And so anyways, if you like that show, if you like any of the MTV shows really, you'll like this. It's called Scream.
I knew it.
Scream, the TV series, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright? It's not the greatest thing ever. It's better than the movies, though.
It's better than the movies? Are you sure?
Yes.
The movies are amazing.
Here's why. Alright? This series has 12 hours to tell you a story. A whole story, 12 hours. So you get character development, proper character development, not just like, oh, here's an hour and a half
cheesiness
of 30 people
yeah.
coming together. This is like, here's 10 people who are being, you know, kind of attacked by this person who's trying to kill them. And
with
then
the ghost mask, yeah.
Right. And it's also like, it's so much more interesting than the show, or than the movie, because in the movie you have, okay, here's this crazy guy who gets this ghost mask and goes around killing people.
Oh, yeah.
And he's called the Ghostface Killer.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of Scream?
I've seen all 4
the TV show?
No, not the TV shows. I've
So,
seen the movies, though. They're awesome.
Okay. So, in the show, in the first episode, you've got this guy, and it looks very different than the regular Scream mask, the ghost mask. It looks more like a surgical mask.
Ooh, so it's scary.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, it basically looks like someone got really messed up, got in a car crash or whatever, and so their face was all mangled and messed up and whatnot, and so they had to put a surgical mask to keep everything in place, and then there's like a hole for the mouth.
Oh.
And so it's very reminiscent of the ghost face from Scream, but they call him the Brandon James Killer.
They call him that instead?
Brandon James Killer. And, you know, at first you're like, well, that's a stupid name. But then it's like this whole entire story. So it's like there's probably about 3 stories that string along throughout. So you have like the main character's story that moves forward. You have the Brandon James story that moves under everything. and then you have the killer's story that moves over everything. So you have these 3 stories at the beginning that start, all in the same place, and then they kind of go astray from each other, and then they meet up at the end, and so everything comes full circle, and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. And then season 1 ends, and you're like, oh, I need more. And they give it to you.
Oh, what? Is season 2 out?
Second season
what?
Right now. The second season just came out like last week on Netflix. Oh, that's it.
That's the guy?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of weird.
I know, but it's a little more creepy, right?
Yeah,
because I mean, the regular Ghostface mask is kind of cheesy.
It was funny.
Yeah, it looks plastic, and but this looks kind of
like
terrifying.
Scary. Yeah.
Don't look up too many pictures. You'll get spoiled real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyways, season 2 is on Netflix. I just got done watching season 2.
The killer's Michael Jackson. He's still alive, guys. Run! No.
So, yeah, I just got done watching season 2. They're making a 3rd season.
Did they wrap up everything on season 2? So is season 3 going to be fresh? No?
No. It's fresh, but at the same time, it's not.
Ooh.
So, season 1 ends with a pretty good cliffhanger, all right? And then in season 2, you explore that cliffhanger. So you tie up everything in season 1, and that's good. But then you get to the end of season 2, and then there's another cliffhanger, and you're like, they're making a 3rd season?
Like, how? Yeah.
And surprisingly, people like this show. I mean, I could see critics just tearing this show apart.
Yeah.
But they don't really. They kind of enjoy it for what it is.
Is it kind of funny, like how the movies had some funny parts and stuff? Is this
No.
all serious and
It's pretty dark and serious.
Yeah.
There's one character.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character in the show.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go too into detail, but basically he's like the audience surrogate, where he speaks for the audience and everything.
Like a narrator kind of thing?
Kind of.
Yeah.
So it's this guy, and he's obsessed with like horror movies and whatnot. So he's always analyzing the formula with horror movies, and once these horror attacks start happening, he's like, "Oh, this is like this horror movie. This is like this horror
just
movie."
like in the movie, yeah.
And for the first few episodes, every episode ends with him, and they don't do this as much in the second season, which I was kind of mad about because it kind of gives him less to do. But then they give him more to do. I guess I should spoil too much, but so it's probably the first 5 episodes, probably. At the end of each of those episodes, he's just talking about, like, we don't know who this killer is. And it's always in a classroom. So they're high school students, and they're in, like, this psychology class. And so they're talking about, why is someone doing this the way that they're doing this? And they're talking about horror films. And so he's like, well, maybe... here's why. And as he's talking, it's showing different events of every character and what they're doing at that point in time.
Oh, so like a flashback.
So it's like, who's the killer? And so it kind of sets up everything just perfectly, and I love it.
Yeah, that's what I love about the Screen movies. I gotta watch this TV show.
I can't wait for season 3. Hopefully it's great. Season 2 got a little weird, as most shows do, except for Arrow. Season 3 was when that got weird.
Yeah, season 3 was like, oh.
And then season 4 got really weird.
Yeah, now season 5 is kind of okay.
Season 5 is really good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Scream, the TV series, on Netflix. Get out and watch it. I'm sure everyone listening to this has Netflix. If you don't, get it. Because really you're not doing anything with your life if you don't have Netflix. And so then moving away from Scream, on to the next thing, so we're going to go up a little bit in the scariness, in the spooky, scary skeletoniness.
Getting ready for the Halloween season next Monday?
Insidious.
Ooh, don't they have 3 of those now?
Yes, I watched the first one for the first time
High
the
five.
other day.
That movie.
Did you watch that?
I've seen it. Yeah, the tiptoe through the garden.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
And
did it scare you?
No.
No?
At first... kind of.
It frightens you.
Well, no, at first it's like, they're setting everything up. And so things slowly start to happen. And that's kind of the formula with horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Not thriller slasher movies, but like horror movies, where it's like, okay, people move into a house. Things start going weird in the house.
Yeah.
Things get really weird in the house. They call the witch doctor. The witch doctor says, hey, here's your problem. And they say, that's not the problem. Kick the witch doctor out. And then they realize that that is the problem. The witch doctor comes back. And then they're like, okay, we gotta stop this problem. And then they stop the problem. But then there's the cliffhanger where the problem's not stopped.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
And then it ends.
It follows that formula. And that's kind of why I don't like it. But I take it for what it is, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be formulaic. That's fine. Let's take this for what it's supposed to be, which is scary.
Mm-hmm.
The first maybe 45 minutes are kind of weird and scary. Like there's this part where the baby's in the crib in her room, and over the baby monitor, the mom starts hearing something, and she goes up to the room, and there's someone standing behind this curtain from the window, and you're like, what in the heck? And that's probably the scariest moment for me. And then that's when they call in the witch doctor. Or no, they're like, we need to move out of this house.
Yeah, we need to go.
And so they move to a different house. Okay? And then they call the witch doctor because more weird stuff is happening. And they're like, okay, this stuff is just following us. What do we do? And that's when things start to get weird. Like, they go into different dimensions, and they go into some of the weird demonic possession stuff, and then you see...
The other place, other realm.
The farther.
The further,
No, the further is what they call it.
The further.
It's like the Upside Down in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So anyways, I didn't really like it that much. It was good to watch for the first time. I'll never watch it again, just because it was eh.
Insidious, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want another good Halloween movie, I haven't seen the second one, but the first Conjuring, that movie was pretty good. Did you see that?
On to my next movie that I watched.
Oh!
The Conjuring!
Yeah!
I have almost the same problems with The Conjuring.
I thought they did a better job with The Conjuring.
They did a better job. It's the same director, and there's one of the same actors in it. The dad from Insidious is the witch doctor in The Conjuring.
This one was set in the 80s too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This one was based with, air quotes, insanely, on true events.
True, yeah.
In super air quotes.
Like every paranormal movie.
So it's, there is, actual documents stating, this is what happened and whatnot. So it's based on a true story. True story is what you need to take in mind. So these are people telling someone what happened, and then that person tells someone what happened, and then that person makes a movie out of it. And
based on the true story.
And then they tell other people what to do, because this is what the other people said about this people, saying that these people did this to these people.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, the title is based on true events, and it takes place in the 70s.
70s, yeah.
1974. And so it was a little bit spookier until it got a little weird. When it got weird with the exorcism stuff, that's when I fell off.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, no, this is just okay.
I would say the scariest part in that movie is when they're playing the
clap game.
hide and go seek. Oh,
that was the scariest part of that movie. And for me, it was just kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Normally, I kind of get spooked a little easier. But yeah, I don't know what it was specifically. Same thing with Insidious. It was a little better than Insidious, though. I wouldn't watch it a second time just because I know what happens now.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that pretty much catches up with me for the whatnots on Halloween movies and TV. And now I believe it's time. Yes, it is. It is 10:30 in the a.m.
It's 10:30 in the a.m.
So we're gonna call Dom.
Yeah, right? Dominic for Romero for all those people out there.
Like George Romero.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the director of all those movies. Are you calling him right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him right now. And,
all right.
For those of you who don't know Dom, which most of you don't, I met him. I think it was 8th grade or 9th grade, and he's a little far away, so we're gonna give him a call right now and see what he wants to talk about. And like always, anybody can call in the show, and we'll have live segments where it will truly be live. But if you do want to be on the show, just send us a message like Dom did, and you'll be on the show.
Yeah. If you're a fan and you want to be on the show, I'll just keep talking while you call. So if you're a fan and want to be on the show, just let us know. You can email us at thinkclothingceo@gmail.com. Or you could just go onto our Instagram. It's Think Clothing Co., right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with Facebook. Just message us on there. And we'll get everything figured out. Is he there?
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, it's Dom.
Oh,
Okay.
Dom, you're live on the show, man. How's it going, Dom?
Going good. How about for you guys?
It's good. So, yeah, I'm here with Clay right here, Clay Peterson.
What's up? I'm Clay. Nice to meet you. So welcome to the show, Dom. We're happy to have you on here.
And yeah, what are you up to nowadays, Dom? I haven't seen you in like forever.
I know, right? I've just been school, parkour, and actually I drew out for the hunt this year.
Ooh, nice, man. Like, what'd you go for?
Deer for rifle.
Nice. Did you get it?
I actually did shoot a deer yesterday.
Ooh, nice. Where'd you go, man?
I went up, right up middle in Tooele, Middle Canyon.
Nice, man. It's way cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah, man.
All right. So we just got done talking about some Halloween stuff. Talking about what movies we've been watching lately to prepare for the Halloween season. What about you, Dom? Have you been catching up on any Halloween stuff recently?
I haven't. I've been wanting to go to some of the haunted houses, though.
Okay. Like which ones?
Like Asylum 49 out in Tooele,
Okay.
and Fear Factory in Salt Lake City.
Oh, awesome.
You haven't gone to Asylum yet, man? Like, dude, that's in Tooele. You need to go.
I know, for real.
Yeah, man.
So you're into all of the spooky stuff that Halloween has to offer, then?
Yeah,
Oh,
I love
man.
that stuff.
Ooh, I'm not a big fan of the spooky things.
No way.
I mean, movies are pretty good. Like I just got done, talking about a second ago.
Talking about like movies, have you seen any pretty scary ones lately, man?
Probably just rewatching like Paranormal Activity and Insidious.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about Insidious.
Yeah,
Have you
what-
seen? Yeah.
What did you think about Insidious?
I thought it was pretty unique because how like they brought back like the first movie and the second one.
Oh, so you watched the third one, man?
What was that one about?
I don't know. Is that what you were talking about? Insidious 3 or
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure on all of them. I'm mixed up.
It's all good, dude.
There's too many horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. Let's have Dom on for some of these topics.
Okay, cool.
So, personal ghost stories. Do you have any ghost encounters, Dom?
Actually, I have one
Okay.
that you could kind of say was we were coming back from Washington just from a vacation, and we were going to my grandma's house. So I was unlocking her door, but for some reason it wouldn't unlock. Like just the top lock would not. And so I like let go and I stepped back a little bit and was going to tell my mom, and the door just opened, and I was like, "Oh shoot!"
Oh no! Oh shoot!
Oh,
things,
thank you. Never going back to Grandma's house again.
things are getting real.
Oh man. So that's the only kind of ghost encounter that you've had?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. What about you, Parker? Have you had any ghost stories?
Yeah, well, I used to live in Michigan, and like that was a long time ago. But we lived in the Upper Peninsula, and it used to be like it was called Houghton.
Okay.
It used to be a mining town, like back in the 40s and 30s. And we were living in a pretty cool house. It was really old, built in the like 30s, but it was really cool. And like, I personally kind of remember a little bit of stuff, but like it's mostly what my family said. They
Okay.
said like this is a creepy story. It's crazy. They said at times like we'd be sleeping. Like here's my mom's story. She said like she was sleeping with my stepdad at the time, like in their bed, and they said they would hear footsteps coming down from the attic.
Ugh.
And they slept with their door open, and then they felt like somebody got in the middle of the bed in between them, and then they felt like somebody got up and then went downstairs, and then you could hear footsteps going down the stairs, and then you could hear the basement door slam, and then you could hear like footsteps down in the basement.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, shoot, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'll give you some more stories about this house. It was crazy. I guess my sister, she said, like, my sisters, they shared a room and everything, and this was on, like, the mid-floor and everything, and they had a desk in their room and bunk beds, and my sister, one of them, I can't remember if it was Kelly or Abby, but she said that one time she woke up and saw a little boy, like, sitting on her desk playing with a ball. And then, then, yeah, that's scary, huh?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, and then she closed her eyes, and then the boy was gone.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
that's when you just pretend that you didn't see it.
You close your eyes, you pull the blankets over your head. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then I have a little story I remember from that house where, like, I was into, like, marbles, and I played Jenga a lot, like, tumbling towers when I was little. I remember I built, like, this huge tower with, like, marbles and stuff. I remember waking up, and I saw, like, a little boy. I don't know if it was the same little boy that was on my sister's desk, but I saw a little boy, and he was playing with my marbles, and then he knocked down my tower, and then ran out the hall. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's scary.
That's horrible. You guys... Oh, man, you guys got these ghost stories.
Oh, yeah. That's the kind of stuff they based Insidious off of. Probable stories like that.
Yeah.
Or in Conjuring with that little boy.
Yeah.
Where
Oh.
or no, it wasn't Insidious, where the little boy's like running around and he's dancing to
Oh, yeah.
Tiptoe.
Oh,
Tiptoe in the garden. Oh,
no.
man.
I did not like that kid.
No, me
That kid
either.
scared the living crap out of me.
Yeah. Your turn, Clay.
so-
Any ghost stories?
For my personal ghost stories, I've had little to no ghost stories.
Mm-hmm.
The most I've had is these two right here. So, I probably when I was maybe eight or nine, maybe 10. And it's weird because both of these are at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
Both of my grandma's houses.
Oh.
So there's my mom's mom, and I would always spend the night at her house. And I'd always have this weird dream where I'd walk downstairs. So the bedrooms were upstairs.
Yeah.
So there's 4 floors.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the upstairs, kind of the kitchen area, the bottom area, which was the living room, and then kind of the basement.
Yeah.
So we slept in the top area. So I'd always have this weird reoccurring dream there where I'd walk down the stairs all the way down to like the living room area. And there's this hallway where you look right, and it's past like the laundry area, and that's where my grandma's office was.
Oh,
and
no.
So I'd always have this weird dream where this like lady would be sitting in the chair, just sitting there, and then she'd turn around, and as she turned around, right before I could see her face, I'd wake up. All right.
oh.
And
That-
so
yeah,
I always
oh, no.
had that dream. I don't know why. I probably had
Every
that,
time.
I probably had that dream about 5 or 6 times.
Oh, no.
Okay. And one time, I go down the stairs. All right.
Like, you really did this?
Yes, this was for real. This is not a dream. I go down the stairs. I look down the hallway, just because it was involuntary. I look down the hallway, and the chair turns. Just a little bit. No one was in the chair. Luckily, thank God, there was like no one in the chair. That would have freaked me out even more. But the chair moved ever so slightly, just towards me. Like it just kind of turned, and I was like, no. And I go back upstairs into my room, and I just went back to sleep. I was not having it. And then the next one was at my other grandma's house, so my dad's mom's house. And again, I'd always spend the night there, like on weekends and whatnot. And I always had this reoccurring dream.
Another one?
Yes.
Oh.
It's weird how these always start with dreams. So their house is 2 levels. So there's the basement, and the basement was where my room was, but I never wanted to sleep down there because it's in the basement.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. And so I'd always sleep kind of on the couch in the living room, on the top floor, and I always had this dream. I probably had it maybe 3 times, so
Yeah.
not as many as the other one.
Yeah, but still.
But I'd walk towards the steps to go downstairs, and there was a door that led to this kind of other living area. It was like 2 houses put into one, kind of. That's the way they had it built. So it kind of felt like there was an apartment down there. And so I'd always look, and the door would always be shut. My grandpa would always shut it at night, and he'd turn on like this alarm in case anyone, went in there, and the alarm would go off in case someone like broke into the house or whatever. And I'd always look down at the door and see this little girl just standing by the door. And that's when I would wake up, because I'm not having it. All right. And ever since I had those dreams, I would always turn on every light on the way to those stairs to go downstairs in case I had to get something. Because that's where like all the toys were. And whatnot.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to play with some toys, I'd have to go down there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'd turn on every light on the way. One time, I decide I need to stop always turning on the lights. It's fine. It's never happened to me before where I've seen something down there. And so I start walking down the stairs. And then the door creaks open. And so I run back up halfway up the stairs. And I just go back, and I decided, all right, I'm not playing with toys today. Not doing it. And so yeah, that's pretty much my personal ghost stories.
Dang.
I've never seen like an actual ghost or anything like that, aside from like my dreams and whatnot.
Some reason grandma's houses seems to do the thing.
Yeah, grandma's houses are always the freaky ones.
Oh yeah.
Never go to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Unless you have to, like Christmas,
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving, her birthday.
Yeah. I was house sitting for my grandma, and like my grandma had a dog. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like pet ghosts or whatever.
Nope.
I didn't believe in them, or I didn't until I went to my grandma's. I was house sitting for my grandma, and about like a year or 2 ago, like her pet dog Scrappy died, and like it was weird. I was house sitting for my grandma, and she still has another dog that was alive at the time of Scrappy. One time, his name's Gizmo. One time, Gizmo just starts barking out of nowhere, and then I hear. I keep in mind, like, I have a fence so that the dog can't come into the same room as me, and like next thing you know, I hear like footsteps like on the wood floor in the same room as me, like a dog.
So like tiny little.
Yeah, tiny like paw
Okay.
marks, like
Just a little clicking.
yeah, coming to the bed. And then, like, it stopped, and then Gizmo stopped barking. And I was like, oh no, and I was the only one at the house, and I was freaking out.
No, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. Alright, so similar to ghosts, these are just as believable.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna give them the debrief on this topic here, Parker?
Yeah, man. So, do you have any urban legends you know about, Dom?
Probably, I'm probably gonna butcher the name, but I'll just say number one. It's the lady at the lake in Mexico,
Okay.
and she drowned her kids, and then she felt so bad from like all the sorrow, so she ended up killing herself. So if you're camping at night and you're a kid, you'll hear her start to cry, and then if you go to the lake and go very close, she'll drag you into the lake and drown you.
Okay.
Ooh, did you
Alright.
did you hear about that when you were down over there?
Yeah, my dad told me that when I was little.
Oh.
He's like, alright, sit down, son. I'm gonna learn you something real quick here.
Don't go swimming that night. Ooh.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, boy.
Yeah.
Your turn, Clay.
Alright, so for urban legends, I mean, one popular one nowadays with the Halloween season and in the Halloween spirit is good old Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows about Bloody Mary.
Remember we did that back at St. Marguerite's, dude?
Oh, St. Marguerite's is so scary underground because, like, the lights flicker and then you hear creaks and everything. Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that after Clay talks about, like, this story, man.
So I've never personally experienced Bloody Mary. I've done like that stupid little game.
Oh, yeah.
I did it at school one time. So the power went out at school one time in elementary school. And everyone was like, okay, everyone go into the bathroom while the power's out and do Bloody Mary. Because it's October, we gotta do Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, you gotta
so,
do it.
So me giving into peer pressure, of course, goes into the bathroom. I do it. Nothing happens. I walk out, and that's it. So I've never really experienced it, but it is a popular one. They did explore it in the Supernatural show. Did you ever see that episode?
No.
No?
Talk about it.
So basically, Supernatural is a show about where they hunt down ghosts and vampires and whatnot. It's kind of Halloween-esque if you want to dive into that show, especially the first season. The first season's a little more creepy than the rest of the seasons, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically how the episode goes is someone experiences Bloody Mary, but instead of it killing them, it kills their dad at night when he goes and like brushes his teeth or whatever. And the reason it kills the dad is because the dad is responsible for someone's death.
For killing Bloody Mary? Or?
So, kind of. So basically, this Bloody Mary is like a vigilante who goes around killing people. Whenever someone says Bloody Mary, it summons her to that area, and she starts killing people who are guilty of like murder and crimes and whatnot. And so then the main characters just go around just bashing mirrors until they find the one mirror that she lived in, like that she kind of died in front of.
Yeah.
She like killed herself in front of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like she gouged her eyes out. And so that's what happens to all of the victims is the eyes are always gouged out.
Oh.
And so then they destroy the mirror and everything's fine. But anyways, so you guys have a Bloody Mary story?
Yeah, like, remember back when we did that at St. Marguerite's in, like, Mrs. White's class?
Yeah, we waited till it was a little bit later, and then we went into the bathroom, and then we turned off all the lights, and then we set it. Oh, it was just so creepy because St. Marguerite's is an older church, and the basement is just spooky at night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like a... St. Marguerite's, it was a little private Catholic school I went to for like 2 years. And yeah, I went there. That's how I met Dom. And yeah, we did that like one time and it was crazy. Remember the tunnels under like the church too?
Yeah, there's also, if you go through this little sketchy closet that's barely like one person wide, if you go to the very end, there's like this bigger opening to this door that's like has like 5 locks on it.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
Thank you. Yeah. No, thank you. That's the part where I run the other way.
Yeah, and we were in like the basement of a church, and there were no windows or anything. So when the power went out, like
it was just pitch black.
Yeah, remember that happened one time, man?
Oh, it was so scary, dude.
Yeah, we were like, ah, yeah.
Not having that. Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
So I'll tell my urban legend. It's not really an urban legend. Well, I guess it is because it kind of has to do with Bigfoot, if you can call it that. But
good old Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Squash,
yeah.
as I like to call it.
Look out for this squash over there.
We're going squash hunting.
Yeah. Well, I was over at friends last night, and we were doing a little party, a Guitar Hero type party thing, and his parents were there, and they were telling us about how they went camping up in the Uintas. I can't remember what lake it was, but it was one that's really rugged, and it's only like dirt trail up there, and there's no phone service or anything. And it was just those two up there, and his dad's name's Guy and whatever.
Guy.
And, yeah, Guy. So that guy was camping.
That guy's chasing down the squash over there in the woods, not knowing what the heck he's doing with his shotgun.
Yeah. Well, they went camping and they had like no self-service or anything, and it came to about nighttime, and they had their tents all set up and everything, and Guy, he never gets scared. Like, he'll go to a haunted house, he won't get scared about anything, he'll watch a scary movie, he doesn't get scared about
he's like
anything.
me watching Insidious.
Yeah, nothing phases him. That's what got scary about this, like, this story, because I guess they were up there, nobody else was up there, just them, and they're right by a lake. They went to go fishing, his mom and Guy, and I guess in the middle of the night, they hear this big, like, growl, screech, like, rah, something crazy that was super loud. And, like, he was like, no bear, no, because he hunts a lot and he knows, like, most animals up in the area. And he was like, he has never heard anything like that. And he was like, it was a groan scowl that not even a man's voice could, like, hit that pitch. And he was like, he couldn't even, like, repeat it.
Oh my gosh.
And I guess they were up there in the middle of the night, and they woke up after they heard that, and like they were like, "Uh-oh, something's up," and like they woke up and they were up for like an hour, thinking like, guy said he was like, if we hear that one more time, we're just gonna pack up and go down to a hotel and then come back and pick up everything the next day.
Oh my god.
And that's what he told his wife. And
Oh,
like, it's crazy. So like after a while, they didn't hear it. It was all quiet, just like crickets or whatever you hear up there. Nothing. And they fell asleep. And then he said his alarm went off to go. No, his alarm didn't go off, but he woke up at 5 to go fishing because like when you go early up there, you catch
Early
like the
bird
most.
gets the worm.
Yeah, but they were up there, and he said like he felt like someone was watching him,
Ugh.
and he didn't want to unzip the tent or anything. He
Maybe
was
it was
just
the
like
lady of the lake.
the lady of the lake's coming back. But yeah, he said he was just like sitting there like thinking. Like, you know, when you wake up, you're like, do I want to get out of bed or not?
Yeah.
He said that's what he was doing.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, should I get out and go fishing? What do I want to do? And he was like, I don't know. It feels kind of weird. It feels like someone's watching me. And the tent was all zipped up and everything, so he couldn't see out of it.
Uh-huh.
But he said, like, I think it was like 2 minutes later, he heard like huge, like, footsteps, like boom, boom.
Oh.
And he said there was pine needles everywhere, and like a tree fell a while back, so like anywhere you stepped, you would have heard somebody
Yeah, like
like
just crunching
footprints.
of
Yeah,
pine
crunching.
needles?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he said he only heard 2 footsteps, and then something smacked the side of their tent, and it woke up Melanie, guy's wife, and they woke up and they were like, and he heard 2 footsteps from far away, like boom, boom, like
my
huge
God.
pounds, and then he heard 2 more, and then the thing was gone. And then he went outside and they saw like huge footprints and like the smash in the side of the tent, and then they're like, all right, let's get out of here. So yeah, next time you guys go camping, think about that while you set up your tent or
Think about
hammock.
Squitch. Always be on Squitch watch.
Oh yeah.
I would also like to add to that because actually out here, I can't remember the exact lakes, but there's the lakes of or beasts of the lake. There's 3 lakes. I believe it's around Bear Lake, but there's 3 beasts that have been sighted like during colony times, and everyone's been trying to catch them.
Oh.
But sightings have like stopped since 1970s, and they haven't appeared ever since. But maybe that might be what happened to those guys that you're talking about, Parker.
Yeah, maybe it was one of those beasts. And like guy never really like tells a lot of stories or stuff, and he's like a really cool guy. So like when he told me it, I was like, "Oh man, it's real." Yeah, that's crazy, Dom.
Oh man.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I forgot to throw into this kind of topic area of the Halloween-esque is I wanted to talk about going back to Halloween kind of horror movies and whatnot.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the best endings in horror movies that we've seen.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll go first. Like I was saying earlier, most horror movies are very formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
They follow kind of this pattern of, okay, we move into a house, things start happening, we call someone, they say what's happening, we say no, they come back anyways, and then they stop what's happening, and then there's the cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about our favorite one of those cliffhangers. Like, which one just got us the most where we're like, oh, I need more.
Yeah.
My favorite one is Nightmare on Elm Street. The first
Oh,
one.
that one is scary, dude.
Alright.
The original one from like the 80s or whatever.
Uh-huh. The cliffhanger of that one, just to give you guys a little refresher, is everything's fine. They've stopped Freddy Krueger from, terrorizing these kids, and all of a sudden the mom comes home, and she's kind of in front of the mirror, and the daughter's kind of talking to the mom, and out of nowhere you see Freddy pop up in the mirror, you see his glove go through the mom's face, and he drags her into the mirror, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, just hearing that, that brings back bad memories, man. I used to be terrified of those movies.
That is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Those were so scary when I was little.
And
yeah,
the ending of that is one of the main reasons why that movie is one of my favorite horror movies today. So what about you, Dom? Best horror movie ending?
I kind of like more of the subtle ones where they kind of give a hint, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it was The Conjuring 2 with Annabelle.
Okay.
And it's when she escapes, and they're all trying to look for her. And then at the end, it shows the demon behind her.
Oh. Okay. I
It's
haven't
kinda
seen The
fucked up.
Conjuring 2. The end of the first Conjuring was a little weird though, because it kind of had that Inception ending. Do you know how Inception, like he spins the top and then it just keeps spinning? So
Yeah.
with the first Conjuring, if you guys remember the ending of that one,
Yeah.
there's that mirror that Rory appeared in, who's that little kid who was trying to help the girl,
Mhm.
and the thing starts spinning while the tune's playing, and then it stops, and you're waiting for Rory to show up, and right as something might happen, the tune stops and the credits roll.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a cool ending.
Yeah, that was a way cool ending. I'm trying to think of my movie. What movie didn't like get me the most? I don't know. I'm trying to think
Okay.
because like I don't watch that many scary movies, but back when I did,
Uh-huh.
oh, Hellraiser. If you've ever seen those movies, or if you want to see those movies or heard of those movies, don't see that movie. That movie is the scariest movie ever. Hellraiser.
Uh-huh.
It's about like it's basically like this Rubik's Cube type thing.
It's Pinhead, right?
Yeah, Pinhead. You see that if you start messing with it and you solve the puzzle, then this guy with a whole bunch of scary needles and a whole bunch of demon guys come after you, and they just torture you and stuff. And the whole movie's like trying to stop the demon guy, because once you solve it, the guy just comes after you, and he's like, "Yep, I'm gonna kill you the most scariest way, and I'm gonna do it really slow, and it's gonna take a long time." And so like the ending of that one, I think I saw it. It just like scared me because like it could happen to anybody who goes to like a flea market or whatever.
How does it end?
Okay, so they solve everything, and like basically everyone dies. So it's not like a happy ending at all.
Good. I love it. I love horror movies where like something happens where they're defeated. So
Yeah.
like when the mom dies in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
Like she just gets ripped into a mirror and that's the end of the
It's
movie.
like yeah, scary movies where the bad guys win and the good guys don't.
Yeah, the bad
Yeah.
guy should always
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. So at the end of this one, the Hellraiser Pinhead, he wins and he kills everybody. And I'm not gonna. That movie just like makes me want to like hide in the closet.
Really?
Yeah, it was scary.
I saw the fifth one
The fifth one.
because that's all they had on Netflix
Yeah.
at the time. It was last year,
Mm-hmm.
last October, and that was all they had on there.
The first one's the scariest.
For the Hellraiser movies because I've always wanted to see them.
Don't.
I really do.
Please don't.
And the fifth one was, I think it was the fifth one. It was like super high up there in numbers,
Yeah.
so that's why it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Because after they make too many of them, they just start sucking.
Yeah.
Um,
How does that one go?
So I don't remember specifically. Because
Same puzzle box.
I was falling asleep in and out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Hellraiser loved this girl or whatever, and this girl moves into this house with her husband, kind of boyfriend dude, and then he's trying to like prove to her that he's good, but then he ends up going back to hell, and then this other weird guy who's like this flesh person, like he just looks like he's been skinned alive.
Yeah, that's somebody who's been through Pinhead stuff.
Okay.
So that's what he does.
So yeah, and he's trying to gain the affection of this woman, and then I don't think I finished it.
Yeah.
I think I fell asleep because I was sick at the time, so I just kind of
Yeah.
dozed off. But it was pretty lame.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you how the I didn't really finish the ending of the first one. So the ending is like Hellraiser's just going around, and he no, this one doesn't really. It has Hellraiser a little bit, but a little boy finds the
box,
and he
Okay.
starts fiddling with it. And then, like, it just scared me the most because I was little when I saw it, and the
So
boy
that's
was
how it
about
ends?
my age. Yeah, the
With
little
the boy
boy's-
just messing with it.
and then it showed a picture of like the boy in the future getting like torn up, and Hellraiser and Pinhead's just laughing.
Ooh.
And so like when I was little, like that was the last time I ever like saw that. That was like the scariest movie I've ever seen.
That
at
sounds like a
time.
movie I'd really like.
Yeah, dude, don't see it, dude.
That sounds like a really good like horror movie.
At least that's what I remember, and it may not be like that at all. But like at the time, like I watched bits and pieces just because I was so scared. So like that's what I thought it ended. So like maybe if we watch it now, it's gonna be like a complete different ending. But yeah, scariness.
All right. Is that for Halloween topics? That about sums everything up there?
Yeah, man.
All right. So let's move on to the next topic. Dom, have you been listening to the show recently?
I actually have.
Okay. So as you know, I'm very much into the newest upcoming TV shows.
Oh yeah, he loves the TV shows.
Are you watching any of the ones I've mentioned so far?
I actually did start Flash for a little bit. I
Okay.
didn't actually really keep up with that or the Arrow. I kind of have been starting Superwoman. I'm not sure if you talked about that one.
Supergirl?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little catch up on what's been going on recently. So we've had so far 3 episodes of Flash, 3 episodes of Arrow, 2 episodes of Supergirl, 2 episodes of Legends tomorrow, and tonight is the season premiere of Walking Dead season 7. Have you been watching Walking Dead, Dom?
I haven't. I stopped after they managed to escape from the prison.
Okay.
Or no, actually when they got caught by the cannibals.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the end of season 5? Yeah, end of season 5.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, so I'm super excited for season 7 of... It's season 7, right?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know that. Yeah,
I
season...
know, you're obsessed with Walking Dead.
Season 7 of Walking Dead is tonight. We're gonna find out who Negan Lucille'd the crap out of.
Oh yeah, I
As-
remember
as
talking
Oh yeah,
about
when
mentioned.
he just killed him.
Yeah, so he's got, kind of, to go back to that episode where I talked about it, he's got this bat named Lucille, and he's got barbed wire wrapped around it. And he decides, alright, since you guys killed my people, I gotta kill one of your people.
Mhm.
I don't want to kill you guys, but I have to show you guys, that I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just starts beating the crap out of someone, but we see it from that person's perspective, so we don't know who it is, and we're gonna find out tonight. And it's gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Whew. I'm ready. I don't want to give away too many spoilers. One thing I did want to talk about is some of the CW shows' undertones. And so I was kind of analyzing the shows as I was watching them recently within the past couple weeks of Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. And one thing I look out for with all of my shows is writing, the perspective of writing, because that's what I want to go into is comic book writing, which is kind of the same aspect as comic book TV writing.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to mention some of the themes that they have that's ongoing throughout the season,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what this podcast is supposed to do. It's supposed to
Get everything.
inspire people.
Mhm.
And so here is how I think that these shows can kind of inspire them if you're looking for these themes without the show. So for Supergirl Season 2, the one thing I noticed with this season is they're heavily focusing on owning your own power. So knowing who you are and kind of realizing what you can do, and realizing that the possibilities of your life are endless. You can go where you want, you can do what you want, and I really like that. And then one thing, moving on to the next show, Supergirl's on Monday nights, by the way. That's a nice little plug for you guys. Monday
Yeah,
nights, 7
Yep.
p.m. on Channel 30.
No, the CW should pay us for that. No, that'd be awesome.
Sponsor.
Yeah. it's-
Moving on to Tuesday, 7 p.m., CW Channel 30, is The Flash. So for this season 3, a big theme going with this is moving forward. Not dwelling on the past, which I mentioned in my last quote of the week is to not, dwell on the past, to move forward with your life, because the only direction that matters in life is forward. So with Flash, it focuses on moving forward, because he's always like, oh, I'm going to go back in time and save this. I'm going to go back in time and do this. I'm going to go back in time. And he just always talks about how he wants to go back in time and stop everything from happening. And so I really like that theme with moving forward, where, you're not dwelling on the past. And then Wednesday nights, 7 p.m., CW, Channel 30, is Arrow. And for season 5, season 5 of Arrow is, the main theme is trust. So trusting the people in your life, because those people are, at the end of the day, who's going to save you, who's going to help you out with what you're, working on, who's going to, help you figure out where you're going in life and everything. And then we move on to Thursday nights, 7 p.m., CW, Channel 30. You should really sponsor us, CW. If you're listening to this, send us your money. Legends of Tomorrow is Thursday nights, and it's a little bit harder to find the theme with this one, but one thing I noticed that's kind of always ongoing so far is working with people.
Yeah.
Understanding, how to talk to people, how to, get to the same conclusion with someone to where you're not always butting heads, to where everything's a little more unified. And which goes back to Arrow Season 3, Arrow Season 2, which biggest theme was unity. Unifying people together.
Getting the team together.
Working together and everything. And so that wraps up everything that I have to say about the most recent TV shows. Let's see.
Let's go on. What did you want to talk about, Dom?
Look, there's nothing really in particular. Maybe I don't really keep up on a lot of things in society nowadays, like politics, sports.
Oh, politics, that can suck my butt. Like, I hate politics. I think it's a funny show.
Yeah, it's a reality show, basically.
It's a good comedy on CBS. Every 3
Yeah,
months.
just watch South Park for your politics, guys. No. Okay.
Let's see. So this is your topic, Parker, right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is this?
That's called the spiral jetty.
What the heck is a spiral jetty?
The spiral jetty. My sister Abby, and the infamous Brandon I always mention on the show.
The infamous Brandon.
Yeah.
The brandtastic Brandon.
Yeah. But they're telling me about. I think it's up north, and I think it's in the Salt Flats, or it's right by the Salt Lake. And they say, like, up north, some guy back in the 60s built, like, a huge spiral made out of rocks and crystals and stuff.
Okay.
And then, like, rains came, and then, like, you know how the Salt Lake raised levels, like, the water level raised?
Okay.
So the water level raised, and nobody could see the spiral jetty, that's what it's called. I don't know why, but it's called the spiral jetty. And then, like, finally, I think, like, 10 years ago or whatever, the water levels, like, lowered again. And so you can see this spiral made out of rocks and crystals. And I guess, like, when you go there, like, for some reason, like, if you believe in, like, energy and whatever and, like, different vibes and stuff.
And sun gazing.
Yeah, back to that episode. the mystical realm. Just kidding. But, yeah, I guess if you go there, it's just like a higher vibration, if you believe in that kind of stuff, a higher energy.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just mainly an art piece, and what's cool is they actually have tar pits over there, like back from like the dinosaur ages, tar pits that bubble up and everything. So you
how
can go check
deep
that
are
out.
the tar pits?
You could fall in and die. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Because if they're slightly deep enough, what you could do, go down to the spiral jetty, all right, and watch the sunrise from the spiral jetty with your feet in the tar pits.
Oh yeah.
Right? And just sun gaze, and then you get your chakra full, you get all the energy, the magnetic fields coming in for days.
That natural feel of the tar.
Oh my goodness. Would you be one with the farther?
Oh
right?
yeah. Watch out,
upside down.
the upside down. You've seen Stranger Things, right, Dom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the upside down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, so back to like the Halloween zone. This is
Yes.
another spooky kind of story. My
Spooky,
sister.
scary skeletons.
Yeah, a crazy story. My sister and Brandon talked about. They said they spent the night out there, and it was a really
At the spiral jetty?
Yeah, the spiral jetty, and nothing's out there but like salt flats. There's no road or anything. And there's water from the Great Salt Lake like 20 feet out and everything, but it's only like 2 feet deep. And I guess this was on a really stormy, spooky night. Ooh. And yeah, it was crazy. Nobody was out there. They took their dogs, and their dogs like bark like crazy and are defensive when other people are there. and out of nowhere they were sleeping, and it was storming and like crazy thunder and lightning and rain coming down and everything. And they said like out of nowhere at 3 o'clock in the morning, the dogs just start barking and growling like crazy.
Huh.
And then like all of a sudden they got quiet and just started whining.
Ugh.
Yeah, and like they said their dogs
don't
like
like
never
that.
really whine, but like they were scared and their tails
Did
were
you-
just like shaking.
Did you ever hear about there's like those triangles across Earth where like so it's like the Bermuda Triangle and how weird stuff happens. Did you ever? It was like on. It was on like National Geographic or something. And so there's like these triangles in the Earth where it's similar to the Bermuda Triangle. And they're spaced out evenly and whatnot, and you have all these like weird stories that have happened. And I guess this one guy, it was in like Africa or something, so it's close to the equator, where like those triangles would be. And so he's in Africa or somewhere around, somewhere kind of like a desert sort of thing, and he parks his car and he gets out of the car for a second with his dog, and I don't remember every story of this. I heard it like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, they got to this certain point where they walked far enough away from the car, and I guess that was right where that triangle is. It's not like a visible triangle.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
a
where
field.
it is on the Earth.
Yeah.
Like this magnetic field kind of thing. All of a sudden, the dog turns on the owner and just starts attacking him. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
No?
No,
Oh
that's
man!
crazy.
All right, I'm gonna get like a whole bunch of articles on that, and I'll talk about it next week.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So
Um,
so back to that story. So yeah, that's crazy, the triangles
Yeah,
and stuff.
uh-huh.
We'll have to talk about that next week. I have some stuff to put into
Okay.
that's scientific.
Next week will be a weird episode. All right. So
Yeah.
stay tuned, people.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, back to that. The dogs are whining and everything, and after the barking, like my sister and Brandon, they woke up and they're like, "Okay, that's weird." The dogs They stopped barking and they just started whining, and they're like scared,
Oh,
freaking out,
yeah.
just staring at Abby and Brandon and staring out the window, like
Like a weird horror movie.
yeah,
Like where the dog's just outside and won't go in the house.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
in
no.
Yeah, and so like Abby, she has like a pretty good intuition and stuff, and she's like, "Okay, we have to go now." And they're in their Jeep, and they've had like the back seats down, so they're sleeping in the back of the Jeep with the dogs. And then they quickly get up and they start their car and everything. Keep in mind, there's like a thin trail back. You have to follow like a trail, and it's not marked or anything, back to a paved road, and you don't have any cell service for a long time.
Ugh.
Well, they start the car like doesn't start the first time, and then like a typical scary movie doesn't
Yeah.
start the first time,
Yeah.
and then it turns over, and then they turn on their lights or whatever, and it's storming and thunder and lightning and everything, and their dogs are just going and
Oh my God.
and whining and yeah, so they floor it like as fast as they can getting out of there. And then Abby and Brandon, they say like they turned around and they saw like a huge light where they were, and like it looked like people standing there. So
Ugh.
aliens, whatever,
Ugh.
demons, whatever you want to call it.
Squaich.
Yes, good old Squaich was out there. Oh man, whatever you want to call it,
The
it's out
lady of
there.
the salt flats.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a
Yeah, but like, so they say in the daytime everything is peaceful there, but then for some reason at night, like the energy reverses and it becomes really scary. And
Okay.
nobody spends a night out there.
Wow. That is bizarre.
Yeah,
I
so
don't like that.
maybe it's a triangle in
Yeah,
Utah.
what if that was like one of those weird triangles? Don't you worry, guys. I'm gonna Google the crap out of it and give it to you next week.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna give you the lowdown on that real quick.
Yep.
All right. So are we ready to wrap up everything?
Yeah, do you want
All right.
to give one of your special
I'm-
quote of
I'm-
the days?
I've decided
Oh.
that I have many
Oh.
things that I want to talk about at the end of every week. And I'm going to be calling this segment of the show Clay's Cabinet.
I like it.
So I'm going to open up my cabinet and start pulling out little topics here and there from this segment of the show. One of my things that I'm going to be pulling out of the cabinet every week is the quote of the week. So let me just go into my quotes here. And which one do I want to go with today? I got so many in here, Parker.
I know.
It's ridiculous. Okay, here we go. So This was from the movie The Invitation. This is a garbage movie, okay? But it kind of gets better towards the end. It's basically these people invite a bunch of old friends over to their house, and they all just decide to have dinner together, kind of catch up on everything. It's like this little nice friends reunion between everyone. But then things start going a little weird with the hosts.
Sounds like Clue.
So, yeah, it's very similar. So, basically, these hosts, you find out through the movie they've gotten spiritually involved with this weird kind of cult / religion, where the final phase of this religion is to kill all of your friends. Okay? So, basically they have this whole night set up to where they catch up with their friends and they realize what they have, and then they kill what they have in their lives so that they can move forward, and then they're going to kill themselves so that they can move on to a higher spiritual plane and whatnot. These guys are your typical sun gazers.
Movies.
These guys are your typical sun gazers.
They're also part-time clowns.
They're part-time clown sun gazers in the tar pits of the Salt Flats. So, anyways, the movie sucks until it kind of picks up. It's very boring until the end. It's pretty bad, though. Don't go and watch it. I'm not recommending this show. But here's where the quote is from. That's so that I can cite it, so that you guys say, "Oh, you're not coming up with these quotes on your own, are you? You're stealing them from people." I'm not stealing them. I'm sharing them.
They're quotes.
They're quotes, not from me. So, anyways, the only good part of this movie is this quote right here. And this guy pulls out this very expensive bottle of wine, okay? And they say, "We don't want expensive wine. You're just going to waste it. Why would you waste expensive wine on just, your friends? You should save that for, something very awesome." And the guy says, "Well, what if we die and we don't get to enjoy it?" And here's the quote that he says: "We shouldn't put off enjoying what we have." Okay? And I like it a lot. It stuck with me the second he said it. And I was expecting this movie to be bad, so I wasn't expecting to pull out my notes on my phone and just start, typing quotes in there. But then he said that, and that kind of clicked with me, because we really shouldn't enjoy putting off what we have. So if you're out there, you got an expensive bottle of wine, crack it open, because you don't know when you're not going to be able to enjoy it, right? I mean, what if your liver starts to fail and you can't drink anymore? You could have drank it before, and then you would have enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about that, Dom? That quote right there.
I think it's actually pretty good, because it doesn't really have to go with wine, but it can also go with other things in life that people like to conserve and keep, and they don't really want to enjoy it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it really does apply to almost anything and everything.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they say, "Oh, someday I'll go and enjoy that." And,
right.
Why would you wait?
Right. It's like, maybe one day I'll go do this. No, don't wait. If you can do it, go do it. So, on to the next little salt shaker in the cabinet of Clay's cabinet. One thing I wanted to introduce, and I was supposed to do this 2 weeks ago, but I forgot about it, is the product of the week.
Oh, yeah!
This is a non-sponsored product, okay, where I talk...
Non-thing clothing related.
I talk about something that I thoroughly enjoy. And because we just started this, so it's not like we have sponsors or anything. We're not getting paid to say good things.
Besides Clothing Co.
Right. So we're not getting paid to say good things about random products that we like to use in our everyday lives and just, whenever. So I wanted to kind of include that so that you guys know that these are genuinely good things that we enjoy. And for this week, all right, have you heard of the man, Rick Astley?
No.
He's the guy that sings. He's the guy that sings "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Oh, nice.
From forever ago. Right?
Yeah.
He has not made music in a very long time. All right, and recently he just came out with a new album called 50, because he just turned 50 this past year. And it's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
What kind of music?
I don't know how to describe it, but you just want to.
It's Rick Astley.
You
music.
just want to sing. You do.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much what it is. It's weird. And some of the songs are a little bit spiritual, a little kind of religious and whatnot. It doesn't, target any specific religion. It just kind of goes into some of the spiritual things and whatnot.
Yeah.
But aside from those things, I really enjoy this album. There's a couple of songs that I kind of took out of the soundtrack so that I didn't have to listen to them. Just because they were a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
But the more upbeat songs are really good,
Mm-hmm.
all right? Like Pieces, that's a really good song. This Old House is really good. Keep Singing, really good.
Yeah.
It just wants you to keep singing, all right? So anyways, go check it out. Dom, have you heard of Rick Astley before?
I have not.
No? Okay. Go
Before
check
our
out his new
times,
album.
old man.
I know. Well, because it was on a podcast I was listening to, and he was on it, and I know his name based on that song.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always known kind of who he is, but I didn't know he was back doing music again until I listened to that podcast. And he's like, "Yeah, I just came out with my new album." He just he casually just said it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, don't plug it or anything."
Yeah.
So I googled it, and yeah. So it's really good. You guys should try it out. If you don't like it, that's fine. You're wrong, but it's fine.
You're wrong, but it's fine.
No, I'm just kidding. You're not wrong if you don't like it. It's very you have to have a feel for it. It's like
The
coffee.
taste,
It's like coffee. You have to be born with that taste for this kind of thing. But it's really good. And that's my product of the week. Let's see. I think as for Clay's cabinet, for this week, that's all I have in the cabinet, just those two things. I'll beef up my cabinet a little bit next week, and we'll get some more stuff in there. What else you wanna?
I think that's about
I think
it.
we're good to wrap up. We've been here for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, thanks for being on the call with us, Dom. It was awesome to have you, man.
Thank you so much. It was awesome to be on.
Yeah, we'll have to get together one of these times. You can meet Clay, and we'll all have to hang out.
We'll have a hangout adventure thing.
Yeah, we can go to the Spiral place.
Oh, the Spiral Jetty.
We'll have a camp out at the Spiral Jetty.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bring a shotgun. We'll hunt some squatch.
Yeah, watch out for that. And we'll go up to the Uintas, hunt for that magical beast.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on, Dom. It was good talking to you.
All right, Dom. We'll see you later. Have a good day, man.
All right, yeah, see you guys.
Bye.
Oh, doesn't want to. There we go. It hung up. Okay. So, anyways, that is everything we have for you this week on this podcast. This was episode 5 of ThinkBox Radio. Don't forget to tune in next Monday, maybe even Sunday, if I decide to upload it early.
That'd be cool. You can never be sure. Just watch for the post.
Sunday or Monday. All right. That way our information is slightly accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, catch up on everything that I want you to catch up on. If you don't, then you're probably going to get spoiled. If you don't care, that's fine. At that point, my topics are useless. Also, don't forget to email us at thinkclothingceo@gmail.com, on Instagram at thinkclothingco, and as well as Facebook at thinkclothingco.
We'd love to have you online with just like Dom. It was a good time.
Yeah, if you want to be on the show, let us know, and we'll figure everything out. If you've got some specific topics you want to talk about, maybe you're in a profession that a lot of people don't know about, and you want to share it with us. Maybe you're part of an organization, and you want to share it with us. We'll totally, get you on the show, and get the word out for you guys.
We can interview you. We can
right.
have you as a part-time co-host every
a tri-host.
A tri-host,
if
yeah.
you would.
Select tri-host, yeah.
So anyways, make sure to check us out on there. And the Snapchat was Stud Muffin
276.
276. There you can keep up with Parker and all of his Think CEO adventures.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in for another week of ThinkBox Radio. We will see you all in the next episode. And yeah, good day and good luck.
Goodbye.